I'm now convinced that you can't really do research in education anymore without involving the most important participants, the children themselves. Because what I discovered during the research I conducted is that I myself no longer know what it's like to be 8 years old. I don't know what it's like to be 8 years old and sitting in my classroom. And the only ones who do know are the children in my class. And they're the ones who can tell me best. And then we go and do research without involving them. Yeah, in my view, that just doesn't work anymore. So, what I did in my research is we did the entire thing from the very beginning to the end of the research completely together. And the children really by asking a miracle question. So, what could improve the future in our classroom? They were the ones who gave me insights. And we moved forward with those insights. So we started doing activities together to figure out, hey, what can be improved in the class and what would you like to do? And how can we go about doing that? And those solutions and possibilities, we structured them together and looked at, hey, which ones are possible and which ones aren't. And the ones that were possible, we eventually tried out. And throughout that entire process, we did it together with the children. What you really notice is that children aren't really used to being asked for their opinion. Because schools are often places where it's all about doing the right thing and giving the answer that the teacher already has in their head. And not so much places where you're allowed to think for yourself, like, hey, but what do I actually think about this? So you saw, as the research progressed, that the children really had to get used to it. And that at first they would basically say, but we think it's fine if you just do it. Because they weren't used to any other way. And then a few children said, but teacher, if you decide all those things by yourself and don't involve us, then you might end up deciding things that aren't really true at all. And that was just so beautiful. And by doing it together with them, you create circumstances where children are super motivated to work on this with you because they themselves have a voice and an influence in it. They are the ones who know best how things work here and how things are done. My advice would be, I think, just do it. Just go and try it. And children come up with such wonderful things that you could never have imagined in your life. Now that you've heard all this about doing research together with children, what does that actually bring up for you? Do you maybe have the feeling that you're just as enthusiastic as I am and thinking, I want to get started tomorrow? Or do you think, I find this a bit daunting. I'd like to know more about this first?